we were discussing this chart. This is a chart of a lady who had a problem in childbirth. Okay. This is basically a good case study in the matter of denial of childbirth. How these things happen, let's find out. Okay. First thing I told you, you go through the Vedic point of view. First thing, you look at the moon. Okay. I told you have to see the moon first. If moon is afflicted, some aspect on moon, somewhere moon is in a bad shape, that can affect the progeny. Okay. Here moon is conjunct with Mars and it is very close conjunction. Okay. Moon is Mars is a malefic. Okay. And Mars is having direct aspect on this fifth house. Okay. So both the things are against. Okay. Now have a look at this. Fifth, when we have to see the child, promise of child, then we will look at the fifth house. Because fifth house belongs to child, children. So in this chart, we'll look at the fifth cuspal sublord. Okay. Fifth cuspal sublord is Mercury. Okay. I told you when a planet is retrograde, it is a retrograde planet. And if it is the sublord of some any house, then that event is you can say it is very difficult for that person to rectify that event if planet is retrograde. If that planet is in the star of retrograde planet also at the same time, then it is 100% denial. Suppose if Mercury was in any planet like it is in Mars star, and if it was a retrograde planet, Mars was a retrograde planet at that time, so it means it is 100% denial, even if it is giving any number. Even if it is giving fifth number, 5 number, 11 number, 12 number, whatever number it is giving, but it is a denial. Okay. It is a rule of KP astrology. If a planet is retrograde, you must remember, if a planet is retrograde of the concerned house, if sublord is retrograde, and if it is placed in a star of a retrograde planet, then the event related to that house is denied. First thing. Okay. In this chart, the event is Mercury is retrograde, but event is promised. 11th house is there. Okay. When we have to see the promise of childbirth, we have to see 2, 5, 11. And either of these house should be there. 2, second house is family house, extension in family. Fifth house is house of children. And 11th house is house of gains. Okay. So 2, 5, 11 should, either of the house should be there. 11th house is here. Okay. So there is a promise of child in the chart. But other things are very negative. There is fourth house also. Fourth house is what? It is a negation house. It is negating the result of fifth house. If any negation house is coming, that event is very difficult to happen. You can understand. So, and all the bad houses, 6 and 12 are also coming. Okay. And you must understand that for Cancer ascendant, 11th house is a Badak house that I told you. earlier. 11th house is a Badhak house for Cancer ascendant. Okay. For all movable signs, 11th house is a Badhak house. 1, 4, 7, 10. That I taught you earlier. You remember? Okay. So these are giving a very bad significations. The Mercury is retrograde. It is not going to things happen. And negations also are also there. 4th house is there. And if you look at the moon, it is also afflicted. Mars is aspecting this 5th house. Now, what is the story of this lady? This lady is a gynecologist doctor. She is a very good doctor and surgeon, basically surgeon. And she went through 3 abortion, you can say. Okay. She could not bear a child. Still, she did not have a child.
So also that Mercury retrograde, plus it's also unattended, no, untenanted, no, that also impacts.
Yeah, untenanted. Mercury is an untenanted planet. Yes. So it will give strong result of this 12th house. 12th house is the house of loss.
Mm.
You are right. You got it right. Mercury is untenanted also. It is a retrograde also. I told you if a planet is untenanted, it will give very strong result of its placement. So if it is placed in 12th house, just a minute. Yeah, it is a Bhav Chalit chart. Okay, we have to look at Bhav Chalit, not Rashi chart. The planet placement luckily are the same.
Mm.
Okay. So Mercury is giving result of 12th house. It means it is house of loss. She is unable to have child. At the age of 41, she don't have any child. Okay. But remember, there is a promise, a little promise. Okay. When you see there is a promise, 11th house is there. Okay. Then you have to look at the dasha, what dasha is going on. Okay. You see, when first thing you have to see the promise. Okay. After that, you have to see what time she is going through. What time she is going through. Because sometimes if Mahadasha is very, very strongly promising something, okay, then Mahadasha is promising very strongly. Suppose Mahadasha is promising a child, but horoscope is denying. It will happen in many cases when you go through the chart. It is a very complicated thing. Okay, but this is the thing you have to understand. Suppose in this chart, horoscope is denying a child. Okay, but 11th house is coming. If 11th house was not there, then you don't have to look at anything. But you see some hope of light there. Yes, there can be something. Let's look at what time period she is going through. Let's look at this. Her Saturn Mahadasha has just started.
She's starting Mercury.
Okay. Saturn Mahadasha started in this just in January 2023, this year. Three months ago, Saturn Mahadasha has started. Okay. Now look at this. Saturn. Saturn is promising a good time period. If you look at before that, you look at what time period she was going through. Jupiter Mahadasha. You have to look at the past also. Okay. You have to look at the past and present and the future. This is what astrology is. So if we look at the Jupiter, it is giving very bad significations. Jupiter is in nakshatra of Sun, which is placed in 12th house of loss. I told you the nakshatra lord will tell you the result. What type of result you are getting? It means she is getting very bad result. Okay. 12, 3 and 10. So all the houses are not good houses. With respect to, you can say, there is no promise of child in this Mahadasha. If there was something 5 or something like that, then you can hope that yes, there is a promise of child. 5 if 5 is there. But there is no promise of child in this Mahadasha. Only loss is there. Well,